All right, what's good, man? Let's get into it. I'll probably release this video on Wednesday, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on the LA Clippers, and I just want to say the Clippers are probably the worst team in NBA history because of Kawhi Leonard. Now, before I take a massive dump over Kawhi Leonard, I want to give a special shout out to Mr. One, Russell Westbrook. Now, I never hated Russell Westbrook. I always thought, he was entertaining to watch, at least in his prime. And I want to give a shout out to Russ. Russ, you know what? Besides besides your other teammate, Mr. Kawhi Leonard, at least you showed up. And what I mean by showed up, at least not only did you show up on defense and offense the first couple of games, you just showed up. You are reliable. People gave you a bad rep earlier this season, which was justified because you were playing horrible. And the Lakers did do the right move by trading you or releasing you, whatever they did. But Rush, you showed up. Rush, you did your thing. I don't blame you in this series at all. People are gonna clown you for having 14 points and stuff like that. You were out there undermanned with Noel Powell or whatever his name is. You were out there by yourself. No Paul George and no Kawhi Leonard. So Russ, I'm gonna give you your flowers. And anybody is new to my channel, I usually take a massive dump over this guy, one Mister Paul George. But honestly, I have nothing bad to say about Paul George. I'm just being for real. I have nothing bad to say about Paul George because at the end of the day, this isn't Paul George's fault. I mean, if you want to blame him for getting injured, it is what it is. But at the same time, Paul George, look, Paul, me and you are not strangers. I know you don't like me, and I definitely don't like you. But Paul, at the end of the day, I heard that you want to re-sign with with the Clippers. Paul George, I would rethink that. Are you sure you want to re-sign with the Clippers? Paul George, are you sure you want to re-sign with the Clippers? I mean, Paul, you're getting up there in age. You're injury prone yourself. If you don't want to win a championship, then yeah, go ahead and you worry about the bag and want to live in LA. Then yeah, go ahead and re-sign with the Clippers. Go ahead. But at the same time, Paul, if you honestly want to win, I would guarantee you don't re-sign with the Clippers. For what? You're injury prone, and not only that, your co-star's injury prone. So I mean, people are gonna be shocked that I'm not taking a massive dump over Paul George. I can't say nothing about it. He didn't play. He was injured. He was injured. I can't say nothing about Paul George, even though I want to. I want to take a massive dump over Paul George because he's horrible and he's garbage. But hey, listen, up to you, Paul George. We'll see what happens with that in the offseason. But I want to talk about one Mr. Kawhi Leonard. Now, anybody who knows me knows I like Kawhi. I think Kawhi is amazing. I think Kawhi, when he's in his bag, no one can stop him. But here's the problem, though. Kawhi, you first of all, Kawhi, I always thought your dumb self should have stayed in Toronto. I honestly thought you should have stayed in Toronto. There's no way you should be on the Clippers stinking up the joint. You haven't done anything since you left Toronto. You had Nick Nurse. You had all this talent. Pascal Siakam. You had Fred VanVleet. Kyle Lowry was still there. DeMar DeRozan was thinking about coming back. And I'm pretty sure he would have came back because Kyle Lowry would have still been there. And you had Nick Nurse as your coach. Not only did you leave Toronto, which is your right at the end of the day, you haven't done anything with the Clippers. You blew a 3-1 lead to the Nuggets. You got injured in 2021. 2022, you didn't play at all. And this year, you got injured again. How are you getting injured and you're not even playing? I can understand if you was out there for all 82 games. Bro, you wasn't even out there for 50 games. How are you getting injured? You must be like jumping on concrete or you must be doing something. You must be, bro, Kawhi. There's no excuse, bro. You are the most overrated player probably in NBA history. KD is better than you. He establishes that now. It was close between you and KD. And KD put the death nail in you tonight, and you weren't even on the court. You have the worst laugh I ever heard in my whole life, and the Kings are worse with you, bro. The Kings bent over backwards, got Paul George, traded Shai Alexander. They traded away all the draft picks until 2026. They signed Russ. They did everything for you, just to get injured and lose. Kawhi, you are overrated, bro. You are overrated. Maybe it's time to retire, Kawhi. If you're that injury prone, if your knees are that bad, then maybe it's time to go in a retirement home, get icy hot for your knees, and just retire. Just go away, Kawhi. You're not doing anything. I'm off. I mean, I don't want to say I was on your bandwagon, but you ain't nothing, bro. You ain't nothing. Her. Bro, you're a meme. You are a meme. And this is probably justification because I remember 2019, everybody was on you. Everybody was just sucking off Kawhi. Kawhi this, Kawhi that. Kawhi what? Kawhi what? Uncle Dennis, where are you? Where are you, Uncle Dennis? I don't see you, Uncle Dennis. So, Clippers, honestly, Clippers, maybe you should trade Kawhi. What's the point of keeping Kawhi? He's not going to do anything for you. He's not going to do anything for you besides run up your insurance bill every time he gets injured. Kawhi, you should have stayed in Toronto and ball down Toronto and maybe run the East. But instead, you can't even run anymore because your knees are so bad. So Clippers, you are the worst team in NBA history because of this guy on my screen, and you deserve nothing but the worst. But let me know your thoughts on Kawhi and the Clippers. Big failure. Shout out to the Suns. I'll probably be covering the Suns probably after they beat the Nuggets, you know what I'm saying? But that's my thoughts. What are yours? RJ out.